Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. Now the Premier League title race is going right to the wire. It's so intense, too intense for some people. So don't worry, Allcott's stepping up. I'm just going to wash all that away and let you know what exactly is going to happen and when it's going to happen when it comes to the Premier League title race. So what I've done is I've predicted every single game that the top six are still to play. And through that I'm able to create a league table for the end of the season. And the exact points that first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth in the Premier League are going to finish on this season. And the reason why it's bulletproof is because of my secret weapon. I'm going to reveal all of that in just a second. But if you are new to the channel and you're watching this channel for the first time, then I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoy this content. I'm so close to 20k now, in the last 500 subscribers, and I think the channel has a lot of good content, so maybe check it out. And as I say, at the end of this video, if you feel like I deserve it, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 20k. So my fear with this video is that a lot of people are going to get triggered, okay? People are going to get upset, but ultimately I've got something that is bulletproof, something that has worked so well for me in the past, and it's something that I'm going to be relying on heavily throughout this video and throughout my picks, which will ultimately come true as time goes on, which you'll obviously see, and I'm sure if they don't, for some strange reason, you'll just keep that to yourself. Probably not. The reason I'm so good at predicting, and I've done it several times this season, Man City versus Wolves earlier in the season on the One for the Weekend podcast. AFC Wimbledon versus West Ham in a cup. I called that. Man City beating Liverpool 2-1 on the kickoff. I called that. The point is, on occasion I've got it right. And if that's not enough, I don't know what is. But for those of you who don't think that's enough, let me introduce to you the power of the gut. Alright? Yeah, it's me. So this is James's gut. I'll be able to offer up loads of stuff. But ultimately, you know, full of good bacteria and generally healthy. Can get a bit gassy, but that's not on me really. That's a bit lower down, isn't it? But yeah. Hi. So as a cheeky little tease to get you salivating, let's have a look at the final league table I've created. 96 points will win the Premier League. 90 points will get you second or joint second and third. And then 74, 71 and 71 points will be the final three places in that top six. The names of whom, I'm not going to offer that now. It's called a tease. Stick around. But what about the big games along the way? Let's dive into that. I'm going to go through the crucial games in the title race, and I'm going to let you know, with the help of Mr. Gut, let's call him Mr. Gut, with the help of Mr. Gut, who's going to win those crucial games. So the first big game, Man United versus Liverpool. Huge game! Red Sunday or Monday or wherever it fucking is this time. I've got Man United to win this one. The reason I think Man United are going to win this one is because Liverpool are going to be playing Bayern Munich in the week. I think that's going to play a factor in this game. Man United, on the other hand, will have a bit of time to get themselves ready. They've obviously got the Chelsea game, but then after that they'll have a whole week to prepare for this game. And Liverpool, who I think might crash out of the Champions League at an early stage. Look, these are all big predictions, utilising the gut. Yeah, what? That's the whole point of this video. You know, don't get triggered. If you're getting triggered now, then Jesus, we're in for a bumpy ride. Just calm yourself down, alright? I just think going into that game, Man United will be ready to go. Look, they've got levels, Man United it seems, but with all their main guys back at Old Trafford, playing attacking football, it's going to be a great game, and a game I've got a feeling, well, he's got a feeling that Man United are going to win. Next big game, Chelsea versus Spurs. That's at Stamford Bridge this time. Now, Chelsea, over the years, have got a very, very good record at home. But as we have seen recently, against the big teams, they really, really struggle. Chelsea against Spurs, of course, that was at Wembley, but they got absolutely trounced. They got done against Arsenal. They got done 6-0 against Man City. They are a lot better at home, and I think this will be a tight game. But this game, strangely, means so much to Spurs and those Spurs players. Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, all of them have been around for a long time, through the good times and the bad times against Chelsea, and I think they'll just be too up for it. Too much passion and power as the underdogs in the Premier League, and I think they'll go there and win. The big games keep coming thick and fast for Spurs, and they've got a lot of injuries, and it has been difficult for them, but I've been really impressed with their grit And just the chemistry that this Tottenham team has. They've all played together for a long, long time and they can rely on each other. And that's what's got them through a lot of games. So going into the Arsenal-Spurs game, I think you'll see the flip side of that home advantage. It's such a big factor in the North London derby. That's what got Arsenal over the line in the last game. They absolutely trounced Spurs in the end of it. It didn't look like the usual Spurs side that we're used to. But on the other side of it, I think even at Wembley, Spurs are going to be so up for that game, and I reckon they'll get the win at home. Gut caller coming. Bournemouth to draw against Man City. Man City obviously have got a lot of games coming up. You got the League Cup, you got the FA Cup. Is that going to take its toll on this Man City side at some point? Bournemouth have got some really talented players, and at home they can beat anyone. There's that second tier of teams that are going to be crucial in this run-in because, okay, there's not a huge amount of games of the top 6 playing each other, but that next level, that's West Ham, that's Everton, that's Leicester City, that's Bournemouth. Even you could maybe chuck in Crystal Palace, who are going to play a big part in this title race. They're all teams that can get points against the top 6 sides, especially at home, and I can see Bournemouth causing a massive upset and getting a draw against Man City, to the delight of the Liverpool fans. I just spoke about them a second ago. Everton are going through a very difficult run, but they have a massive part to play in the title race, and the fixtures for Everton are going to get very, very difficult. It's going to be interesting to see how Marco Silva gets on, how the whole team gets on, and if they can offer anything up in these games against the big sides. Of course, they're going to be up for the derby game at home against Liverpool. Liverpool somehow have this, well, not somehow, they've got a great team. They will be too much for this Everton side. I think it's going to be a really gutsy, tough game. Gutsy, get it? But I just think Liverpool will be too much, even though it's away from home. Everton, I'll be surprised if they can get themselves out of that mental state that they're in right now. And I feel like against Liverpool, they've just got a massive chip on their shoulder. They don't know how to play against them really on a psychological level. And I think Liverpool, that'll be a tough challenge, but one that I expect them to come through. The Manchester derby is going to be absolutely huge this year because it could be a game that's actually moved to the end of the season. So if that gets put to the end of the season, then it just adds a whole new dimension to it. You never know where Man United are going to be. You don't know where Man City will be by that point, but it could be a title deciding game. And Man United, say they're settled in 4th, the form's been very good for them. If they can keep that run going despite the tough games that they've got coming up, then this game will allow them to calm down a little bit. If not, then it puts a different kind of pressure on them. Will they be able to deal with that under Solskjaer? The big test for Solskjaer is coming up in the next few games, up to March 17th, and then even after that, they've got some of those middle tier teams to play. But in this game, if they play them soon, it's going to be a very tough one, but I still think Man City will have too much in a game like this. I think they'll go for each other. I don't think Man United will sit back and defend, especially at home, and I think that will be their undoing. Man City will have too much for them in this huge game, and I think they'll win it. As the season progresses, and as you've seen from my predictions so far, Tottenham are on a decent run. They're doing quite well. So the huge game that comes down the line is Liverpool versus Spurs. Two teams very similar in style, very similar in the continuity that they've had over the last few seasons, and both at this stage will be going for the titles. Spurs, no one's really talking about them. No one thinks they can do it. But I think Spurs are going to surprise a few people just because I think they're going to go under the radar and people aren't going to believe them until it gets to the last few games of the season. And I think they'll have a cracking end to the season because when Kane and those other guys come back, if they're able to hang in there for the next few weeks, then they've got a massive chance at the title. The Liverpool Spurs game will be an absolute cracker. It always is. I've got this down as a draw. I think Spurs will be solid enough, and with Kane hopefully back by that point, that will make a big difference for them. And I think, look, it's been a draw a few times at Anfield, and I can see it being a draw again. Gut call number 2. Crystal Palace to get a draw against Man City. Now, was this because I was getting a little bit bored as I was going through all the fixtures? And I saw that one and I thought, maybe that is it. Or maybe Gut knows more than you lot are giving him credit for. It's too early to tell. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. But Crystal Palace got the win earlier in the season, and they have players who can offer up a bit of magic that can get you a goal. And I think the defeat earlier in the season will play on Man City's mind a little bit. I think Crystal Palace have a lot of strong players. They struggle to score goals, but they can hang in there. This is purely a gut call, and again, Man City fans will probably be getting annoyed with me with the quality they've got, but I saw it. The gut stepped up. It was glowing. It took over. It was like this. And then I just clicked draw. Liverpool-Chelsea's on the same weekend, and I've got a Liverpool win. It's looking good for you right now, isn't it? But wait, there's a few games left here. But Liverpool, I can see them winning this one. This is going to have a whole narrative around it, especially at this late stage of the season with Liverpool going for the title. And again, I look at Chelsea against the teams that rush them, that harry them, that press them well, and I don't see how Chelsea are going to be able to deal with that, especially if Sarri continues to play the way that he plays, with the personnel that he keeps employing in terms of Jorginho, and not letting Kante do that job of being that defensive midfielder in these big games. I think against the lesser teams, Chelsea will win a lot of games against the lesser sides because they own the ball so well. And when you let Chelsea have the ball, Jorginho is a fantastic player. But against these bigger teams, time and again, they've struggled. There's a whole blueprint there that works against Chelsea. I think Liverpool did the exact same thing at an Anfield that is going to be absolutely rocking. And I just think that'll be too much for them. And I think it'll be a massive, massive moment in this title race. And I think they'll win big, just like all the other teams seem to have. So Man City will be playing catch up and the pressure will be getting to them. They'll also go quite far in the Champions League. I'm giving you all the secrets today. Or is he just bullshitting off the top of his head? That's for you to decide. But they will be playing Spurs. They'll be playing at home. They'll be expected to win, but the pressure will be getting to them. Spurs will be out of the Champions League by then, and it will be too much. And Man City will draw that game again. They'll huff, they'll puff, but they won't blow that house down. And Spurs will get a draw once again, to the delight of the Liverpool fans. This takes us to the second to last game of the season, and this is where the title will be decided. Man City will draw once again with the pressure heaping upon them. Reigning champions expected to win it all, and it will just all blow up in their face. Man City will draw again, this time to Leicester City. Liverpool will be playing away at Newcastle United, and they will win that game. And Rafa Benitez will be fine. As the full-time whistle goes, he'll take his glasses off and he'll go after a 4-0 defeat and go, yeah, job done. Because Newcastle, I guess, will probably be safe by that point. But even if they're not, Liverpool will win that game away from home, and Liverpool will be crowned champions of the Premier League of England that day. It was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't it? Sorry. And so, at the end of the season, the league table will look a little something like this. Liverpool will be champions of the Premier League according to my predictions and me and Mr. Gut. They will have 96 points and will be champions for the first time in a bloody long time. 96 points. 90 points will go to Spurs, who will have a very good end to the season, going under the radar. The pressure is going to get to Man City. They're a cracking team. They will dominate every game that they play, but will they win them all with the mountain of games that they've got to play? They probably will win the FA Cup. It's either them or QPR. They'll probably win the League Cup, and they'll probably go deep in the Champions League. I just think something's got to give, and I think it might be the Premier League title that Liverpool desperately want, and I think they're going to get it. Man City will finish at joint third. I think Man City will actually be above Spurs because of goal difference. Then you've got Man United getting that last Champions League place. Arsenal, the squad will let them down. I think it's a rebuilding project there still. They don't have the defence, and losing Bellerin is going to cost them, and I think they'll lose or draw to mid-table teams, and that's why that'll let them down. And Chelsea will finish 6th. What will be really interesting is if the Europa League final between Arsenal and Chelsea happens. I expect that to happen, so that could be just a huge shootout game. So those are my predictions. It's just a bit of fun, but I mean, saying that, it's totally bulletproof, of course, because of me, Mr. Gut. So there you have it. I have Liverpool winning the league, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like your football content, then why not check out my podcast, Great Touch for a Big Lad. Loads of football videos on this channel. Or if you want something totally silly, then there's the Boiler Room Confessions. It's a new video where I analyse boiler rooms. It's very funny. I suggest that you check that out. Or if you want something serious, I've got it all on this channel. The Process with True Geordie. Go and check that out. There's a whole series there. I'm so close to 20k, so if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. There's loads more to come, some massive interviews coming on this channel, so why not hit that subscribe button? I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon from me and Mr. Gut. Goodbye.